Call the meeting to order. First up is some housekeeping stuff. The mayor could not make it this evening. Something came up, so I'm going to fill in his absence here this evening. I'll do my best to carry the meeting accordingly as he has done. This is my first one I've ever done in the 6 years that I have been the deputy mayor, so keeping with that. Some other things, council and staff of the town of Placentia join with all municipalities in Newfoundland and Labrador, and certainly throughout Canada, in sending our sincere condolences to the family of the late John Crosbie. Known for his honesty, his candour, and certainly his wit, we are sure that Mr. Crosbie will be missed by all who knew him, or knew of him. The residents of Newfoundland and Labrador in particular recognise Mr. Crosbie as a strong advocate for our causes, and he will, as he will be deeply missed. His presence will be deeply missed. So, I mean, we've all seen what Mr. Crosbie has done for the problems over the last while. We've heard all the stories, so certainly the town of Placentia passes on its condolences to the family. Next on the minutes is the adoption of the minutes dated November 19, 2019. Could I have a motion to adopt, please? Motion moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Hines.
Adopt the agenda.
Oh, adopt the agenda first. Movement to adopt the agenda. Motion to adopt the agenda first. Motion to adopt the agenda moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Hines. All in favour? Motion carried. Move on to the adoption of minutes dated November 19, 2019. Motion to adopt, please. Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. All in favour? Motion carried. Next is the action sheet from November 19th. Is there anything in the action sheet for November the 19th that anybody wishes to discuss? Go ahead.
Okay, the replacement of the wave wall flaps. I know that that's been an ongoing action item, and I know there's been work towards it. I know that we had a little bit of extra weather. What was the assessment, or where is that to?
Probably Mr. Green, Public Works Supervisor.
We did repairs down around the post office area, those ones there that we get to. They held during normal high tides, but during the storm we had a really high surge, and they're just metal on metal valves, so they can only hold so much during that time. The water did come off during the surge. Yeah.
Just one was the fire hall, the siding. Did that get completed?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from the action sheet? We'll move on to the executive committee. The executive committee met on January the 9th. In attendance was Mayor Bernard Power, Mr. Chair, myself, the Deputy Mayor, and Councillor Smith. The executive committee had the following recommendations. Council approved the hiring of Boyd Lapeace in the position of operations foreperson for the recommendation of LW Consulting as per the approved agreement. Moved by Councillor Power, seconded by Councillor Smith. Any questions or comments? All those in favour? Motion carried. Council approved.
Excuse me, Debbie, I have to step out for this one.
Okay.
Have to.
So, just a little bit on this one. Councillor Hines, one of her family members is on this committee, so she's in conflict. So, Council approved current members of the Placentia Wellness Fundraising Committee with Anne Whaling assuming the role of chair. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Any questions or comments? The only comment I would make is that we're very lucky to have someone like her caliber chair up this committee. Very strong individual, very recognized in her field, won a number of accolades, and I think council will be certainly delighted with the results of the committee, I imagine. All those in, oh, go ahead.
Deputy, it may be useful to just state the number of current members that are on the fundraising committee.
I believe there might be 5 or 6, I don't know exactly the numbers, but we can add it into the minutes. So there probably is that. All in favor? Motion carried. Council appoint Mitchell J. Moore as Commissioner for the town of Placentia. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Smith. Questions or comments? All in favor? Motion carried. Council approved the 5-year payment in lieu of tax agreement PILT with the Argentia Management Authority, Port of Argentia, for the period of 2018 to 2022, exclusive as per signed agreement dated December 23rd, 2013. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Seconded by Councillor Smith. Questions or comments?
Deputy, I think you meant to say 2019.
2019, correct.
Just wait.
Thank you. Debbie will take care of it, did you? Thank you.
Barry already told me.
Excellent. Any questions or comments? The only comment I guess I'll make on this is the full council has worked on this in the last while, the executive, and you know, to have a 5-year agreement in place is good. It's retro to 2018, and this is a good agreement for the town of Placentia. All those in favor? Motion carried. Council approved the adjustment of the 2018-2019 tax invoice levied under the accounts in the name of the Argentia Management Authority and or its subsidiaries, Port of Argentia. This adjustment is to be exclusive of any previous PILT payment received. Moved by Councillor Collins Power, second by Councillor Smith. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion carried. Council approved the issuance of invoices to the Argentia Management Authority, Port of Argentia Building for PILT payment retroactive 2018-2019 as per the terms of the agreement signed December 23rd, 2019. So moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second by Councillor Collins Power. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried. Council approved the current account overdraft protection of $350,000 with the Royal Bank of Canada for the fiscal year of 2020. Moved by Councillor Hines, seconded by Councillor Smith. Any questions or comments?
Is that the regular overdraft protection we usually have?
That is the regular overdraft protection, and actually this year the town is actually much better standing than previous years with the financial thing. So we do it there to have protection in case anything happened to come up in an emergency or whatever, that we have that stuff in place. All in favor? Motion carried. Council approved the shredding and proper disposal of age accounting records for the fiscal year 2012 in keeping with the general accepted accounting record retention guidelines. So moved. Moved by Councillor Collins Power, second by Councillor Smith. Questions or comments? All in favor? Motion carried. Council approves the amend motion 19-241 to reflect a revised figure from $707,560 to $797,468 to include engineering services for the 2020 MYCW Blivet retrofit and upgrades application. So moved. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments?
When do you think this will go ahead?
You can speak to that.
Still waiting on approval on it, so.
Are we working on toward the, we're working toward the, oh, we're waiting on approval on that one, that's the other
Approval
one,
on that.
okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's just the
All right,
application.
that's right, perfect. Thank you. All those in favor? Motion carried. Council amend the motion 19-268 to include an additional $31,347.83 cost and engineering to replace the top of the Lawton's lift station for approval replace total revised project cost of $125,210.65 HST included. Any, so moved. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments?
Deputy, this is, this particular project is, that's sort of awarded and it's gonna, we have to go.
That's award,
That's
correct?
awarded, yeah. So that won't be, we don't have a timeline on that. Weather dependent probably, or is it?
Weather pending right now.
Okay.
They already have started some work on it.
Will this be the end of the work that needs to be done on the Lawton's lift station? This will be after. And what's the life of this?
20 years.
Okay.
It's full retrofit.
Okay, thanks.
All those in favor? Motion carried. Council approved the application for an extension of the wayfinding project to February 11, 2020. Sign installation was delayed due to weather and unforeseen conditions. Moved by Councillor Hines, seconded by Councillor Smith. Questions or comments?
Is that gonna allow enough time?
I guess Ms. Power might be able to answer that. Would that allow enough time, Ms. Power, we're dealing with the February the 11th, the extension? That'll allow for enough time for that to be completed, the wayfinding project?
The only outstanding matters for wayfinding are seasonal with respect to some grass seed planting, which can't be done until the spring of the year. So I wasn't part of the decision to extend it to February.
It had to be done before March, 3rd of March 2020. That's
Okay.
the budget thing.
Okay.
So we, in the project, we can still hold back funds, and that's fine. We'll just get the money from government, but that's not, something that's not out of the ordinary.
There'll be
Okay.
10% holdback.
All right, good. All in favor? Motion carried. There's some other stuff there, dealing with some of those roles, responsibilities for some management. The provincial gas tax, or something on the gas tax funding allocation copied and how that is worked. We're looking at the YMCA with the operations discussion and draft agreement proposals. There was an issue with the splash pad. It did came in much higher than anticipated in December. So that was, we got an extension on that from the Aviva. So that will probably be looked at in the spring under the timelines. Maybe there might be a retro scope change or something, but still feel that coming under budget. And other than that, that's it, unless someone else got any questions for the executive. Anything else for the executive? Oh, go ahead, Councillor Fitzpatrick.
Debbie, just wondering if the second round of interviews are completed for the Chief Administrative Officer's position, and what's the timeline that we expect a recommendation to be back to you, Council?
Personally, I have not spoke to anybody with regards on this file. Oh, Miss.
There's meetings planned for next week around the end of January.
Okay,
We're trying to set up something with the executive.
okay. So, I guess from there, probably it'll be, I guess, lower down the candidates and whatever, and take it from there, probably. Be shortlisted before they come back with a recommendation, I'd imagine.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
I had a question too, Deputy, on the, where the, our request for Department of Transportation on the snow clearing around the bridge, the Liz Bridge. And I know, I think there was a couple of people asking me as councillor about it too, and I know that a request has gone in to see if it's cleared or not.
So I guess what happened was, someone came to the town looking for us to take over responsibility of clearing the sidewalks at the bridge. That is not our jurisdiction. I guess we'll make sure that the Department of Transportations are aware of that. The request came to us, we'll forward the request to them to have them deal with the sidewalks as, you know, as they see fit, because it is their property that to maintain and look after. And that's it for the executive report. We'll move into new business, and the new business is at the budget review meeting was held on January 13th. Council entered into a privilege session to discuss and approve the town's potential operating budget in the amount of $4,763,588. So at that point, we had everybody here, and we knew that there was a possibility that there was council business tonight, so we moved ahead with a motion. The motion was moved by Councillor Smith and seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick, and carried unanimously that we passed this budget. So this we now need to do a ratification of it. So we need to bring that into public meeting. So the motion was moved by it was moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions or comments with regards to that? There'll be more of that on later when this budget speech is delivered by Ms. Smith, our finance minister, but we do have to approve that. So moved by it was Councillor Fitzpatrick and Councillor Smith. Nothing else? So all in favor of that motion? Motion is carried. So now we'll move into the Finance Committee reports for December 11th and January 14th.
Okay, so the Finance Committee report for December. Committee met on December the 11th, 2019, and in attendance was Councillor Jane Hines, Deputy Mayor Pearson was absent due to work commitments, and I was there as chair. And from the staff, we had Mary Green, Manager of Finance, and Deputy Garrett, Recorder. And the Finance Committee made the following recommendations. That Council approve the Accounts Payable Transaction Journal dated December the 6th, 2019, in the amount of $33,412.25. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Hunt.
I think so.
Oh, moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve the check register for the operating account in the amount of $168,395.25 for checks numbered 028117 to 028218.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
That Council approve the special accounts check register for the month of December 2019.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions, comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve the visa statement expenditure for the period from October 29th to November 27th, 2019, in the amount of $3,641.62.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve a credit adjustment of $555.72 for account number GOLDE002. The town received notification on October 1st, 2019 that the retail portion of this company ceased operations. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve a credit adjustment of $1,511.49 for Golden Care Hospitality and $2,067.21 for Golden Care Retirement Home. The town received notification on October 1st, 2019 that these operations ceased. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve a 5% discount to account QUILL005, reflecting payment of the account in full before December 31st, 2019.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve a one-time only interest adjustment of $65.93 to account QUILL005. This account is paid in full.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Questions, comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve a one-time interest adjustment of $523.71 to account BARRP001. The account is now paid in full.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve invoice adjustments to the following permit applications that were not accepted by the individuals. Adjustments are accounts number HEFFJ003, PENNC001, and ARTS001, adjustments of $50 each. Account number HYNES001, adjustment of $150, and account number TAYLF001 for $100.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve a one-time adjustment of $3,600 previously invoiced to Placentia Area Chamber of Commerce for rental of the arena.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve the upgrade to the existing camera service at the arena as a risk management measure to cover blind spots upstairs and on the ice at a cost of $1,350 for the supply, installation, setup, and tax.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve a monthly charge of $104.99 per month for a 12-month period to Infotech Monitoring and Management for computer support and service.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve the award of a contract to Samsung Equipment Limited in the amount of $2,486 for the maintenance of town-owned generators for a one-year period.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve the quote of $1,577.50 for the provision of meals, delivery, and cleanup for the annual employee recognition dinner to be held December 14th. The cost include gratuity and HST.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. All those in favor? Motion carries. That's it for that one? That's 1 month. December.
Okay, January's report. The meeting was held on January the 14th, and in attendance were Deputy Mayor Keith Pearson, Councillor Jane Hines, I was there as chair, and from staff, Mary Green, CAO acting, and Debbie Gitter was recording. And the Finance Committee made the following recommendations. That council approved the accounts payable journal dated January the 10th, 2020 in the amount of $99,780.02.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approved the general accounts check register in the amount of $187,512.71 for checks numbered 028219 to 028335.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approved the special accounts check register for the month of January 2020.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve a one-time only interest adjustment in the amount of $376.53 to account HICKT001.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. All those in favor? Motion carried. We'll do that next month.
That council approve a one-time only interest adjustment in the amount of $815.32 to account HYNESG001.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve a one-time only interest adjustment in the amount of $136.53 to account number 0RED001.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
That council approve the expenditure of $3,507.50 plus HST to Alfonso Group Limited for an emergency inspection of the Wises Pond intake in December 2019.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
The council approved the purchase of a used ride-on sidewalk snow blower with an attached rear salt spreader at a cost of $16,000, pending an approved mechanical inspection.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Collins Power. Questions or comments?
I think Adam had a comment on that, didn't he? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're still waiting on inspection and
That was it? Okay. All those in favor? Motion carries. That's it for finance. We'll move to the public works for December.
The Public Works and Safety Committee met on December 2nd, and in attendance were myself as chair, Councillor Hines, Deputy Mayor Pearson. And for our staff, we had Public Works Superintendent Adam Green, and Recorder was Debbie Gear. The Public Works Committee made the following recommendations: that council approve the application from Dollarama for commercial renovations pending confirmation of government service approval. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Power, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
For council to approve an application from Frankie's Barber Shop to occupy and operate a business at number 178 Jersey Side Hill. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Power, seconded by Councillor Smith. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
That council approve an application from the Freshwater 50 Plus Club to sell tickets at the Placentia Mall. So moved.
So moved by Councillor Collins Power, seconded by Councillor Smith. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application from Canadian Blood Services to erect a sign at the top of Jersey Side Hill. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Power, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
I believe that was probably all we had at that meeting. And then I'll move on to our meeting in January, which was held on January 14th. And in attendance was myself as chair, Councillor Hines, and Deputy Mayor Pearson.
I'm not on the Public Works Committee
Okay, yes.
anymore.
I
So
forgot
in the
that.
previous
Yes.
report and in this one, it's not me.
Yeah. In attendance
Thank you.
was myself as chair, I believe, and Councillor Collins was absent, and Deputy Mayor Pearson was in attendance. For our staff members, Adam Green was our Public Works Superintendent in attendance, and Debbie here to report. The first one, I will declare a conflict on the first one, because they are my employers.
Okay, can Councillor Power, Councillor Smith can read that?
The council ratified the approval of Seamus Travers's application for a permit to renovate 2 Newfoundland and Labrador housing units at number 84 and number 84A Old Settlement Hill.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Just to comment on that, it's just because Ms. Power do work with the Newland and Labrador House, and that's what's declared conflict. All those in favour? Motion carries.
And we just have one last recommendation, that council approve the quarry permit renewal application for Evercons Contracting Limited, quarry located on Southeast Road. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Collins Power, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Questions or comments? All those in favour? Motion carries.
I believe that's.
That it?
That's it.
Anybody got anything else?
I just have a comment. With respect to quarry, the government of Newfoundland and Labrador are doing quarry legislation review. So I think it would be good for us as a municipality to let our quarry permit holders and leaseholders within the municipality know that there is a review being done, and they're soliciting input and feedback on it from operators as well as individuals and municipalities throughout the province, and it will have implications for all. So it would be good to get that message out. Maybe if we can get staff to send it out to our local quarry permit and leaseholders, just a notification.
Ms. Green, could you just have a look at that and coordinate that, please? Certainly, I know there has been some discussion on quarries with Point Bird and stuff. I don't know how that works, and so it'll certainly be nice to get some feedback.
The review will have implications for the business owners as well as residents and municipalities. So.
Certainly, probably something nice to bring back to committees to outline what's going on. All right, that it for Public Works. We'll move on to Culture and Tourism Committee. That would be Ms. Collins is the chair, so she's not here. Ms. Smith will probably go through the day.
So the meeting for December was held December 13th, and in attendance was Councillor Noel Collins as chair, there as councillor. Councillor Jamie Fitzpatrick was off due to work commitments. Rhonda Power, Manager of Tourism, Marketing and Communication, was present actually, and Catherine Smith recorded. Okay, so the only recommendation that was there was committee recommends that council approve registration and travel costs for Councillor Collins and Councillor Smith. Is this conflict?
No, this is council business. No, there's no financial gain for you. It's got to do with council business. There's no financial
To attend
gain.
the Hospitality Newfoundland Conference, which is taking place February the 25th to the 27th in Corner Brook, pending finance approval.
Just one question. I don't know if someone can answer this before. I guess, okay, so moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Just one question with regards to this. Does just always only go as councillors, or do support staff go on any of these things also? Maybe Ms. Power could answer that.
It's customary for someone in a department to attend if available, but I'm going to be out of the country.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure that we did have that covered. Okay. Okay. Any other questions or comments on that? All those in favor? Motion carried.
And let's see, Oasis Festival, there was an update on that, that was a great success, was kept in budget. And the management will submit the financial report for review. And we thank the senior guitar group for hosting the kitchen party during the festival, and the social was held at the Art Centre on December 17th. Christmas dinner was served. Tree lighting turned out to be a great success, and the Santa Claus parade was a huge success. Great floats and great turnout for the kids. Mummers Parade was set for December 29th at 2 o'clock. And There was a meeting with, planned with the Community Content Committee scheduled for January 8th. Discussion around St. Louis property.
I see there was a request there for cannons, but as in past, we town essentially carries great value of our cannons, we're not giving up no cannons. They're so hard to come by. The only thing is we keep an eye, if anything changes with regards to St. Luke's Church, there's a couple of cannons over there that the town owns, right there are cannons, so. No, all our cannons are ours.
And there was some concern about the plaque with Mr. Best Franchi's best plaque that had been removed from Lions Club in Dunville, but the plaque is still there and the picture is still in place. Right, that's that one.
Move on to January.
So the January committee meeting was held at January 8th. In attendance was Noella as chair. I was there as councillor, and Jane Hines. Around the power.
That one correct? You're on the
Yeah.
board?
No, I was on the, I attended this was the convent community stakeholders session.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Around the power manager of tourism, marketing and communication. Tom O'Keefe, Anita O'Keefe, Margie Lannon, Lily Mulrooney, Dr. Dan Green, Father Jose, and Ann Whale was there via telephone, and Catherine Smith Ford. So the committee recommends making an application to government partners for funding to stabilize the convent.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Any questions or comments?
I have a comment, and I think that was it was well explained and well discussed at the meeting, that this would be the best way for us to go for not just the funding to help stabilize and keep the convent safe as it is, but to actually continue on a further investigation of what it could be used for and stuff. And actually, that goes hand in hand. We might be able to get both lots of money on a go-forward basis with this application.
Good, really good.
And so the meeting was.
Councillor Fitzpatrick.
I'm just wondering, has the program that you're applying to been identified, or?
My understanding is that we will be applying to a COA. They have, I'm supposed to be looking at. So I'll be looking at, they would have money for hiring a consultant to actually help develop what the answer is going to be for adapted usage of the convent. And hand in hand with that, if we go looking for how we're going to use it, we need money to stabilize it too. So that's how other municipalities, not so much municipalities, other investor groups and stakeholders in other areas of the province have gone about getting work done like that. So that's what we're following.
And then the next steps were a meeting was requested with the Archbishop to request ownership of the land, because we don't own the land.
All right. Is it all those in favor? Motion carries.
Can we make one note on that? Councillor Smith, the next meeting is March 4th at 2 o'clock. Any other councillors would like to attend it?
All right. Power probably could circulate something to council members for that and let them know. That's it for tourism? The 2 reports? Another one? No? That was it? Good? Not missing nothing? We'll move on to the Recreation Committee reports. Councillor Collins Power will deliver them for me. Thank you.
The Recreation Committee met on December 3rd. In attendance was the chair, Deputy Mayor Pearson, myself, and Councillor Hines. For staff, in attendance was the manager of Recreation, Gord White, and our reporter, Catherine Smith. We didn't have any recommendations at this particular meeting, which is a couple of items we discussed, which was the fitness room hours. And the fitness room, from what has been reported to us, is being used, is increasing in usage, which is great by our residents. And the ratio, we've been told, is about 50-50, no males, females. So that's really good to hear that we got people in the community are utilizing it. We also discussed the fitness room ventilation, as well as some priority upgrades for our ball fields in the 2020 budget. And there was also, at that time, there was scheduled to be a Recreation Advisory Committee meeting on December 4th. And so I don't have any update on that at that point, but that was all we had at that particular meeting. I don't know if you have anything else that was discussed. I don't think that was.
No, that was it.
I have another point of order. I don't believe I was in attendance at the meeting.
I don't do that.
Thank you. That will be noted.
It sounds like we just want you at all meetings.
You're a busy lady, Jane.
Our next committee was held on, the committee meeting was January 9th, and in attendance was Deputy Mayor Pearson as chair. Councillor Hines was in attendance at this one, and I was available via telephone. Manager of Recreation, Ward Pike, and our recorder was Catherine Smith. There's no recommendations at this meeting. However, we did have a couple of items again we discussed. We were looking at again, reviewing some, I know our budget was over at that point. The Winter Carnival, the date is set now, and it's been on, I believe, maybe not on social media just yet, but February 13th to the 16th. So we're asking people to mark their calendars for that, and that's getting underway. And I believe that's all. There is a winter activity guide, and I believe that has been advertised out on social media for people to read.
I did see that. It's done very well, I must say. It was put very well together. Last few comments, great job. We moved the Winter Carnival a little earlier this year, hoping to get snow. I think we got some snow. And someone said there's more in the forecast for late next week, and Sunday or Monday. I hope not. I really don't. Other than that, that's it for recreation. Anybody got any questions or comments on recreation for January? Let's move to community engagement and communication.
We met on December 3rd at 12 p.m. and I was there as chair, and Councillor Kay Smith was there. Councillor Jamie Lee Fitzpatrick was not there due to work commitments. Rhonda Power was there as manager of tourism, marketing, and communications, and Catherine Smith was there as recording. We have one recommendation, and we recommend that the council change the name of our municipal minute to municipal highlights to avoid confusion with council minutes posted on the town's website.
Moved by Councillor Hines, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried. Do we need one for the purchase of the pencil? I see there's a cost here.
I do believe that is within the spending limit of.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
We also have been working with Ms. Power on a formalization of a bit more committee participation in developing what goes out on social media and a bit more of a schedule. So we'll be actually looking for each of the committees to submit a bit of a schedule of what they would want posted, and we'll put it together, or the manager of our communications will put it together on whatever platform seems best for that information. And in January, or February now actually, we'll be doing a couple of videos with basically an easy explanation to how to use our social media sites and how to use our app that we can use on phone or iPad as well. So just to kind of step you through it and get people used to using it. And sometimes we find video is much more widely understood than text. So that we're looking forward to all the things that are coming up with that. We get good usage of our social media and our communications. We're always looking to figure out how to best communicate with all our citizens, and we're still always looking for recommendations for that. We never got to do our Christmas greeting because December didn't work out like we wanted, and we did use in our pre-budget consultation feedback, we did go through all our pre-budget submissions that were received by in all kinds of ways into the town, and they were brought to the different committees as well. So again, we're going to be looking for the different committees to put a schedule of events for 2020. and group them together in order of month and stuff, so people can kind of have a bit more of a head notice for things that are coming up, as well as information we want to share with them with regards to public works and stuff as well. And that was it.
That sounds good. Just a comment on communication from my perspective. With the weather last week, I saw great communication going out to the general public, and people appreciate that. We can never give our residents enough communication, so thank the committee for that. That's it for communication. We're going to move on to Economic Development Committee report, and that will be Councillor Fitzpatrick.
The Economic Development Committee met twice. We met on December the 11th. In attendance was myself as chair, Councillor Collins Power, Mary Green, the acting CAO, was there. And absent was Noella Collins. And we also met on January 16th, and myself was in attendance, Councillor Collins Power, Councillor Collins, and Mary. Councillor Collins was absent. Mary Green, acting CAO, was a resource, as well as Debbie here for reporting. We don't have any recommendations. What we've been discussing our last couple of meetings has been around business incentives and some things that we could potentially focus on as an economic development committee. We're very much looking forward to the hiring of the new CAO, as this individual is our resource person for our committee. And so in the interim, we're trying to strategize around what are some possible business development incentives that could be for new businesses that are coming in, existing businesses that are coming in. We've talked significantly about the importance of the business partnerships within the municipality with other key organizations and agencies who are also helping facilitate economic development and business development within the municipality. We have been discussing as well the potential of lunch and learn sessions, and this is very much in the preliminary stages of where local businesses can be invited in to share business ideas. It could be centered around key themes or key events throughout the year, such as Small Business Week, and also looking at, is there ways in which we can help assist organizations / businesses in coming together to provide training and some resources. So there's some of the preliminary discussions that we're having, and that's it for our committee report. So we've got a lot of ideas generating at this point, and hopefully within the next couple of months we'll start to see them being implemented.
I guess that's December's report.
And January.
And January.
And January. I did
January?
carbonation.
Perfect.
Deputy?
Good job. I guess one of the main topics now that we do have a deal with the port, I guess there will be strong partnerships developed within the port to make sure that we continue to grow economic development in Argentia, and better partnerships with the town to actually make sure that comes to fruition, because as they prosper, so do we prosper.
Well, we have a wealth of economic development agencies in the area. We've got Avalon West Community Business Development Corporation, you have the Central Area Development Association, you've got the chamber, you have the town, you have the businesses themselves, the port, the AMA. We've got a couple of government offices here that are key economic drivers for the province. So we're doing good in that department. Now we just all have to come together.
You'll have the job to do that. Good luck with you on the town.
I have no doubt we will be successful.
No doubt. So that's for economic development. Next, we'll move to correspondence for December and January. Anybody got anything in correspondence that you want to go through or talk? Anything for December or January? I don't see nothing. RCMP had their wish tree, I believe that went over really well. See all the bulbs had changed colors, so that means for Make-A-Wish Foundation, they raised money again this year. It's great to see the community supported. I know there's also an sense of arrival, the Chamber's putting out something with sense of arrival. So we're part of that too, correct?
Yes, actually, it's February 6th at 6:30. It's for everyone who want to be involved with it. It's a free open invitation. And it's with Sense of Arrival, it's how to generate leads within your industry, mostly the tourism industry, but that kind of overshadows a lot of different industries. So you can contact the chamber at 227-0003. That's right, and put in your name for our RSVP.
We talked about the working wall, the wave wall, and I think that is it.
There was one, and I know when myself and Councillor Patrick talked about it a lot. There was one of our residents who has years and years and years and years and years experience in economic and community development, and it's Mr. Tom O'Keefe. And he has sent, he had some great ideas about economic development, about, in developing the Silicon Valley and stuff. Not sure exactly, that's exactly where we're going to lead to it, but it was good to have that communication from Mr. O'Keefe. And, he had some great ideas in it too, so I just wanted to acknowledge that we do enjoy getting, email and communications from our residents about that, and any kind of ideas and communication we can have with them is certainly well accepted.
Good. See also, Plazenza has contacted us again, and there wants to continue on with our partnership, which is a good thing. I think they've got some new council, so they want to just reaffirm that they continue to support that initiative and drive. So something for the committee to continue to look at and find ways that we can still be innovative and continue on the partnerships across the way. And that's it. So, other business of councillors. We'll start on the other side of the room. Councillor Collins Power.
I just had a couple of items there. I guess it was a couple of weekends ago. I attended in my capacity, or I guess I was filling in for Councillor Fitzpatrick, and I attended the strategic planning session with the Chamber of Commerce, and that was it was well organized, and I was looking forward to working with them again, I guess as part of our economic development committee. So that was it was nice to be able to sit in and hear more about what they have to offer in the town, what the plans are. And as well, just with regard to put on my safety hat here, I guess now for a little bit, because of the snow we've had. First of all, I'd like to say, and I'm sure all councillors, and I know we've heard many accolades, like to thank our Public Works Committee and our snow clearing contractors and all the people for making sure that our town roads are clear and they're safe for our vehicles and people walking. So I just wanted to make sure that thank you to our Public Works crew and also the staff who worked here shortly after, and I'm sure there were a few calls. There's been a couple of items gone up on social media just as a reminder. Of course, now we got snow, so snow sculptures, they're January 6th to February 16th. You can put in your picture now for some, well, you might get some, the snow's not too crusty on the top, but now's a chance for families and residents to work on those, and because you never know when they could disappear. And as well, there was also a post for snow angels, and this, of course, social media is, especially if you follow some of what's going on in St. John's, just a reminder to us as well, keep an eye, check on your neighbors when things like this happen, to make sure that they need anything that is there. So then again, our post of our snow angels comes in, keep an eye on them, help out when you can. As well, the fire hydrants near your home, if you can possibly do that as well, or if you know a neighbor has one and they're not able to do it, help them out as well. And I got one other item, and I already said about the Winter Carnival, February 13th to the 16th. So I just want to remind people that.
Thank you. Councillor Smith.
Just to say further to the heavy snowfall that we've had, there's not a lot of people out walking, and last night, believe it or not, in the dark, I saw people going by, no reflectors, no dark clothes on it. People gotta be cautious, right, because the snow banks are high, cars can't see, and they're out in the middle of the road walking away.
So maybe we'll ask Ms. Power to do a little blurb on safety reflectors.
And kids are sliding down over the big banks too, on the road, cars
Ready? Councillor Fitzpatrick.
I just got a couple of things. One is, again, thank you to the town staff, in particular Public Works Superintendent and his team, during the snowfalls. I do want to mention, we mentioned about the municipal highlights. People may not be aware, but these are distributed in various locations in paper format, in addition to being on social media. So I know that one location is Tim Hortons. I can't remember the others. Maybe somebody can remember.
Dr. Charles?
Three Sisters.
And hotel.
And
Hotel.
Hotel.
Dr. Power's office.
And Dr. Powell's house.
Anybody else, Ms. Power?
And here.
And here at the
And
town
here
hall.
at the town. And here at the town.
And
So-
Agriculture Center.
So feel free to pick up any of those at any of those locations. I do want to mention around the comment meeting, I wasn't at the last meeting of the comment, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be at the next one either because it's during work hours and it's difficult for me to attend. However, I am very interested in this, and through the community, I'll be kept abreast of what's going on. Yeah, and I think that's it for me.
Okay. Councillor Hines.
Well, Lorraine, Councillor Power took all the good stuff.
I'll let her go first.
Yeah. It's usually easy for me. Again, I want to reiterate the point that I think Public Works and our contractors did a pretty good job a good job of looking after the safety and everything of everybody during the weather we've had. And I also wanted to commend our citizens who took the extra time to clear away the corners of their lots, if they're on a corner lot and stuff, or that it's on a turn of a road. And I think everyone is kind of being cautious driving. Some of the roads which are in our community, which are not in our control, including the speeds, would be in my area of Jersey side, from the bridge over to where the fish plant was, or to the Bradshaw's Cove. And the speeds there are still up. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. People are on their phone, there's distracted drivers, and right now we wonderfully have another new business in the area, and it's good and welcome to Jersey side. But the speeds, and with people backing up and turning in, and the condition of the road sometimes, it's really, it really needs to be brought to everyone's attention to slow down, pay attention. There are walkers, there are seniors, there are distracted drivers. There's even now and then a cat crossing the road. So you really need to please be careful with that. Also, with the great experience guide that came out, activity guide, sorry, that came out, that was really well put together, a lot of information put into it. I think if people need to have access to that, they can pick up a copy here at the town if they need it. It has all their contact phone numbers and stuff. These programs are not always run by the town. I think a lot of them aren't, but we have them going on in the town, and we do recommend for people, especially this time of year, to get out and see if they can be sociable, or call up someone and see if they can join in on something. So it's important to get out and do something, and if you're able at all. If not, maybe you can have someone go in and do something with you. So it's important for everyone's health and welfare, mental health and welfare, to do that over the course of the winter.
Thank you. And for me, for my comments, is that I also would like to extend to Public Works and also the office staff, because not only Public Works on the outside, our office staff on the inside is fielding calls and questions and getting the message out. So kudos to them. Sometimes we see the outside staff, we don't see what the inside does. So both of them, I want to ensure that they're keeping the residents safe during the recent weather ban. And Council extends our utmost appreciation for your dedication in spite of the adverse conditions, and you had to work under. So no matter what, I'd say thank you to both inside and outside, and the residents for their patience during the time. I know that we're still fielding calls with regards to weather. We've got contractors out working in the night time still now, widening roads throughout the town and making sure that residents and pedestrians are safe as possible. Fire hydrants definitely is an issue. We've got a fair amount of snow and a lot of fire hydrants are buried. I know that Public Works is working through getting them cleared out. Remind residents, if there's a fire hydrant next to you and you can take a few minutes to shovel it out, it could mean the difference between saving your house or saving someone else's house or a life. So if there is one next to you, I'd take that time. I greatly appreciate it. I also probably ask the communication manager maybe to put something on our social media site about that. Certainly remind residents would be great. Also, school safety, as you know, the intersections and the banks are really high. I think about Green's Drug Mart where kids are crossing the road and they're popping out from a bank and people are driving by, so be very cautious about kids and the height of the snowbanks and intersections for vehicles to take their time and make sure that everybody's safe when it's safe to do so to go, so that would be greatly appreciated. And that's it for councillor comments. We're going to move on to the finance person. Ms. Smith is going to deliver the budget for 2020. Council has already recommended and passed the budget, but Councillor Smith will deliver the highlights of the budget for the residents. I'll present you. Go ahead, Ms. Smith.
Well, good evening, Deputy Mayor, fellow councillors and staff, as well as members of the general public who are present tonight, and those who are viewing our 2020 budget presentation on the internet. It is a pleasure to be here as the Finance Chair to deliver my third budget speech to you. Council is proud to report that our planned goals and objectives for 2019 have been met within budget. Our sincere appreciation is offered once again to the members of the community who support our efforts with prompt payment of taxes. We end the year with a collection rate of 98%. For the third straight year, our council has worked with staff to develop a balanced budget without any increase in taxes. The residential rate will remain at 6.2 mils. Our tax structure will reflect a new minimal charge of $100 for water and sewer services to vacant land as mandated by the provincial government. All permit fees and other taxes will remain the same. Council's mission statement dictates that we meet the needs of all citizens in the areas of municipal services, infrastructure, development and community programs while promoting prosperity through economic activity. We provided a venue of openness through public consultation on the budget. We strive to be fair to all taxpayers while developing this budget along the guidelines of our mandate and appreciate the input of our citizens in this regard. We have achieved our goal of a balanced budget using information collected from all available sources. At this point, I will take a moment to point out the major highlights of this past year's activities before delivering the forecasted activities and the 2020 budgetary figures for each department and their respective committees. The Community Engagement and Communications Committee provides a public forum for residents to voice their concerns and offer suggestions on how the town of Placentia could improve delivery of services and information to our citizens. They held several meetings this past year and approved upgrades to our website in an effort to remain accountable to our taxpayers. The Placentia Aware system remains operational and we continue to provide electronic alerts to the general public. The number of users on this system has increased steadily. We encourage all residents to avail of this valuable service. Council offers live streaming of monthly public meetings, and for those that do not avail of social media, the airing is followed by a summary publication of our municipal minute, which is available at the town hall and select locations throughout the municipality. This has all been part of Council's commitment to be open and accountable. Council experienced a difficult year of operations when faced with the union strike that lasted 6 weeks this past summer. The reduction in staff resulted in delayed response to issues with municipal infrastructure, but I'm happy to report that we were not faced with any insurmountable problems during the strike. The town office continued to function effectively, and we commend administrative staff for their supportive efforts during this trying period. Council is pleased to have been able to negotiate an acceptable contract with QP Local 1761. All operations of the town are restored to normal capacity with an acceptable agreement reached without putting any additional burden on taxpayers. We are pleased to report that funding is in place to continue with our single source water supply project. Council is preparing to tender for the next phase of the Dunville Water Line project, which is to connect Gull Pond, Barron's Pond and Clark's Pond, and to upgrade the existing pump house to allow flow of water from Clark's Pond to Dunville. This project is estimated to cost $2.7 million, funding for which has been approved through a multi-year capital works project. Council's funding commitment to this project is allocated in this year's budget. The town endorses community health, wellness, and recreational programs at all its municipal sites, and will continue to support other agencies who advocate health and wellness. The partnership developed with the Placentia Area Development Association has proven to be a very successful union for the delivery of the summer recreation program. This partnership will continue in 2020 with a grant from the town of Placentia. As promised in last year's budget, community sports and recreation groups united to create a recreation oversight committee to seek funding as a unified group and to develop a schedule of events that recognizes the importance of all public organizations committed to improve recreation activities. This committee continues to grow and develop a mandate that will realize fair and equitable growth in all sports and recreation venues. Council had committed to install a splash pad at the town of Placentia's regatta site. This endeavor is possible with an approved grant from Aviva, which was applied for by a local community group. There was a delay in this development due to unforeseen circumstances. However, the project is slated to move forward in spring 2020. Unity Park continues to experience growth as a community center. This past year, we installed new exterior lighting and sound equipment, constructed a new stairs on the exterior of the building, reinstated the 6th dressing room, created a storage room, and addressed OH&S issues to ensure the utmost safety for all users. Safety continues to be a priority this year. Funds will be allocated for the supply and installation of carbon monoxide detectors at Unity Park. We supported the Placentia Area Seniors for Seniors Group in the application for funding for the addition of exercise equipment for the multi-purpose room at Unity Park. Monies were approved through a federal grant under the New Horizons program for this purpose. Statistics indicate that this facility has steadily grown since its inception and has surpassed use expectations. Ice time rentals have increased, thereby raising revenues at the facility. Walkers continue to use the building as part of their daily fitness routine. Council is working with its owner advisory consultants in the development of the wellness center / swimming pool to be annexed to the Unity Park. The request for proposals to design and construct the facility is expected to be released this spring. Tourism events continue to play a large part in the economic development of the town of Placentia. Countless visitors take part in our annual Voices of Placentia Bay Festival and visit the many historic sites in our area. Our Cultural Arts Centre continues to flourish with a broad range of performers, parties, and events being hosted at that venue. The success of the Placentia Area Theatre de Heritage contributes significantly to the arts and entertainment of our tourism plan. Their seasonal operation at the Arts Centre is augmented by periodic performances throughout the year by various local and visiting artistic groups. The introduction of a new signage program with technology features began this fall and will be completed in spring of 2020. State-of-the-art quick response technology will help visitors identify our key tourism sites, as well as local amenities from any location in the community. The town of Placentia placed host to a visiting Irish delegation and continued to liaise with twinning communities, Plaisance de Gers and Plencia. All events such as the annual Voices, Festival tree lighting, Santa Claus Parade, the Mayor's March, Canada Day celebration, and so on, all went ahead in spite of the shortage of staff. Our volunteer fire department continues to provide exceptional fire protection and response services on a volunteer basis by the 30+ members of their team. The town supported the department with funding for their facility as well as the necessary equipment, including a new compressor, as well as day-to-day supplies and materials. Of special importance is the need for continuous training to ensure that all firefighters are afforded the opportunity to maintain certification levels. Council fully endorses proper instruction for all firefighters and supports the development of a new training centre in Argentia in 2020. The town continues to work closely with the RCMP and the Husky Traffic Committee to ensure that road rules are adhered to for the safety of our citizens. Alternating placement and regular maintenance of radar speed signs is a priority measure to reduce speeding. Stationary speed signs have been strategically placed and will be continuously monitored to ensure effectiveness. Council has budgeted $6,000 for additional signs in 2020. Council was pleased to invest in paving last year and has once again allocated a significant portion of the Public Works Department's budget for municipal road improvement work. We also continue to lobby for the province for funding for improvements to Route 100 throughout Dunville, Southeast and the Freshwater Loop. The town's waste collection contract remains in effect and has resulted in a reduction of cost of service over the past year. This contract is in effect until 2021. Notable improvements included the replacement of sanding equipment to support more efficient winter road maintenance. A wood chipper has been purchased with the support of MMSB, funding of $10,000 to assist with spring cleanup and after Christmas tree mulching. Major repairs were completed on the Jersey side chlorinator. Council is pleased with the approval of $2.7 million funding agreement between the town and the provincial and federal governments to move forward with the next phase of our single source water supply project in Dunville. We are also pleased to have successfully negotiated an agreement with the federal and provincial governments to develop the Placentia Wellness Center at a cost of $11,200,000. I must also mention that council and staff work diligently to secure proper and fair taxation from all sources, residential, commercial, and industrial, to ensure that all taxpayers bear a proportionate share of the tax required to effectively and efficiently operate the town and provide an acceptable level of service to all our residents. Negotiations for reasonable grants in lieu of taxes is the responsibility of Council's Executive Department. This committee worked persistently in 2019 to reopen negotiations with the Argentia Management Authority. Those talks have resulted in an impartial, justifiable and substantial 5-year mutually accepted agreement for a payment schedule in lieu of levy tax retroactive to the 2018 tax year. This year there will be approximately $600,000 received. A portion of this will be used to cover council's share of the $2.7 million water project. This budget is prepared with much consideration by council and staff and with input from interested residents. The end result is designed to ensure good fiscal management, exercising efficiencies in all departments without any change to our tax structure. We are confident this budget achieves that goal. If I may, I'll take just another moment or two to provide you with a brief overview of departmental activities for 2020. The Finance Committee will deal with all matters related to the fiscal operations, including pre-approval and authorization of expenditures, approval of tax recovery plans, and financial statement preparation. They will work with all residents to negotiate an agreement for back taxes that will be mutually acceptable to the account holder and the town. In addition to day-to-day oversight, Finance will review requests for non-budgeted items and work with staff to ensure all funding venues are explored to safeguard against arbitrary spending of taxpayers' funds. Council fully supports the Public Works Committee's budget for maintenance of our pumping stations, water facilities, and related public works operations. Prompt delivery of response to any issues that arise in this department is a priority of our public works staff. Maintenance of town-owned buildings falls under this mandate, and Council has budgeted for an emergency efficient heating system for the town hall to replace the failing current system. Our Tourism and Beautification Committee will continue to promote tourism development and market our community as a welcoming and a prosperous community. Events, implementation, and liaison with community groups with similar mandates will be their key focus. The Recreation Committee is committed to support of local recreation groups as well as growth of in-house programs such as the very successful Music and Friends group. They will oversee the administration of recreation facilities and work with staff to promote sporting events in our municipality. Council will be investing in recreation infrastructure with money allocated for softball field and playground improvements. In addition to the foregoing, we continue to support our regatta group with a $5,000 donation toward the purchase of much needed rowing equipment and improved infrastructure. Community engagement and communications plans to continue with Council's directive to ensure that each and every resident has a venue in which to be updated on municipal happenings and to voice their concerns. This includes YouTube streaming of monthly council meetings, quarterly public forums on issues of concern, an active Facebook page and Twitter account, an updated website, and circulation of summaries of council's monthly activities at public venues. The newly formed Economic Development Committee will focus on the development and implementation of marketing strategies geared toward industrial and business development in Placentia. As the foregoing objectives unfold throughout the year, they will be vetted through the Executive Committee, whose purpose is to administer all matters related to personnel, policy procedures, and strategic planning. All members of Council's committees and staff are committed to supporting the overall mandate to promote a positive image of the town of Placentia to residents, visitors, and potential investors. Mr. Deputy Mayor and fellow councillors, I present the budget for 2020 as prepared by our Finance Committee and Town Management for your consideration and approval. So different departments and expenses. General Government, $1,025,667. Protective Services, $184,135. Transportation, $1,001,335. Environmental Health, $906,166. Planning and Development, $67,286. Public Engagement, $25,000. Economic Development, $25,000. Recreation and Culture, $481,051. Fiscal Services, $3,532,845. Total 2020 budget, $7,248,485. Total overall budget reflects $4.7 million for operating expenditures, with the balance of $2.5 million being invested multi-year capital works and gas tank projects. So, Mr. Deputy Mayor, this concludes the budget presentation, and I offer the following two motions for council approval. First motion to approve the budget. As Chair of the Finance Committee, I now move the adoption of 2020 budget in the amount of $7,248,485 as prepared for submission to the Department of Municipal Affairs and Environment.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments? Anyone? No questions or comments? Well, I just like, it's good to see that, we got no taxes increases again for the third year of this council. Our number one priority continues to be the Dunville Water Project. Continue to move ahead with clean water for our residents. We're working diligently with this and getting it done. I'd like to thank all the committees bringing another balanced budget forward. I'd like to thank their committees and the personnel who support them in getting it done, because a lot of work is done by our people here at the office and our other managers, so I'd like to thank them for getting it done. And and when we do these budgets, we as councillors and everybody, we look at it, we don't always come to an agreement on everything. Everybody don't get what they want. Everybody like to see something different, but we all come to an agreement what's best for the town of Placentia. And I think that's what this budget is all about. So, any other comments?
When you looked at us and asked us was there any comments, no, because none of this was a surprise to us. We all went through this line for line a couple of times, and, or, met with committees and had meetings and stuff. So this was something we had worked with, again, with staff on and argued over and agreed upon. And I'm quite confident and pleased that we were able to move this budget and to go forward with, with lots of plans and lots of good relationships with community partners and stuff, as well as within our own council and staff. And I'm really, really happy that we've got to this point.
Thank you. Good. All right, no other questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carried.
And as Chair of Finance Committee, I now move the adoption of 2020 tax structure as presented and reviewed by Council.
Moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Hines. Questions or comments? I guess the only question will be the added, being that they were talking about the added $100 for the water and sewer for land that's vacant. That was mandated to us by government, that if we did not mandate it, we would not get our MA grants. That's our municipal operating grants that we receive from the provincial government. So that had to be mandated, had to be put in place. And we came to a fair agreement, what was fair for residents to, for this thing. So just to make a comment on that, to let people know that. All right, all those in favor? Motion carried. So anyway, like I said, I'd like to thank you, Councillor Smith, for your committee for bringing forward the budget. And looking forward to the next year and moving forward as successful as in the last year. I'd like to have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second by Councillor Collins Power. All those in favor? Motion carried. Meeting over. Thank you.